Good morning, replay viewers and web viewers and live viewers. Hi, Mom. It's cold here. The fireplace is going. Hi, Nina. How's everybody doing this morning, the two of you? It's very cold here today. Yes, much. Thank you. Let me go ahead and move over to where I'm going to be sitting. Isn't that pretty? You see all the animal food. There's the dog food pile and the cat food pile. Oh yeah, it's good morning. It's 35 here. So yeah, pretty chilly. Okay, let me get this set. I'm having to wing it because I left my I left that lovely tripod that Jana got for me in Loganville yesterday or last night. So excuse me, wiggling you guys around. I wonder if the notices didn't get out again. We'll chit chat a minute or two. Hi, Tanya. Oh gosh. Oh, I don't have the bottle of oil that I wanted. Hi, Amelia. Okay, it's a bottle of essential oil. Better, much better. Sometimes when you're really sick, essential oils complement. Good morning. Complement traditional medicine. So I had to use my inhaler, and last night I had to take a cough suppressant. Hi, Catherine. Because I hadn't slept in like 48 hours from the coughing. So the nice part is I rarely ever get a cold anymore, and I missed this one because I told you guys I thought it was allergy, so I didn't do my let's not get a cold protocol in time. I missed it. So once you get sick, the essential oils help it last a much shorter time. So I was horribly sick yesterday and the night before that. So what was yesterday? Saturday? So Friday I felt pretty bad. Friday night was terrible. Yesterday was awful. And then last night was better, and today is better. So that's a pretty short period of time. Their mom, Sarah, has the cold. The toddlers is what gave us this disgusting cold. And, she's still sick. She's going to be sick for a while. So oils are good for prevention. And then once you've got it, they're good for shortening the duration. Yeah, it's pretty short. So when I do get something, it lasts like half the time. So your average cold is 7 to 10 days or 10 to 14 days. And I haven't had one last longer than 3 or 4 days, like really bad. So yesterday was so bad, so gross. Yesterday was the first day I've missed scoping since August 29th. But I was so disgusting. I was like, there's no one on the planet that needs to see this besides my family who's required to see it. It was too horrible for words. So, and I felt really trashed out. So really trashed. So where are my books? Okay. Today is our Dow day. Ugh. You guys didn't want to see that yesterday. It was so gross. The toddlers are better. Their mom is better. She had it longer than I have. And cross our fingers, the Morgan mom, their Morgan mom hasn't caught it. So, my name is Michelle Wolf. You can find me at CaddyshackDesigns.com. Across the top are tabs for everything that I do. Today, what we do on these morning scopes is we alternate reading from A Course in Miracles, and now we're going through a combination of the Tao Te Ching book and the Byron Katie 1,000 Names for Joy book. So let's dive right in. Oh, and then I put something else in the title. Oh, was it letting go, or there was a couple of different things I was going to talk about. Oh, just how I'll talk about it later, but just the stories we tell ourselves about being sick can exacerbate our symptoms or help relieve our systems, both our systems and our symptoms. So I got an opportunity to work with that over the last few days, and I still don't feel great, so I'll still get to work with it. So let's read. And we're using two different translations of the Tao. Stephen Mitchell's and Ursula Le Guin. Which, by the way, Nina, I'm really loving those CDs. I think I will just listen to them over and over in the car for months. Today we're on chapter 9. I thought I was going to sneeze. Yeah, her voice is really soothing. So chapter 9 in the Tao is being quiet. Brim fill the bowl, it'll spill over. Hi, Michelle. Brim fill the bowl, it'll spill over. Keep sharpening the blade, you'll soon blunt it. Nobody can protect a house full of gold and jade. Wealth, status, pride are their own ruin. To do good, work well, and lie low is the way of the blessing. I'll tell you in a minute why this couldn't be more appropriate. I read this at the same time you read it. You've probably all read it before me, actually. I'm not reading these ahead of time, but today's just couldn't be more appropriate. I'll tell you why in a minute. So the second book translation we're reading is Stephen Mitchell's. Fill your bowl to the brim and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife and it will blunt. Chase after money and security and your heart will never unclench. Care about people's approval and you will be their prisoner. Do your work, then step back. The only path to serenity. Wow, that's good. That's good. That's so good. So my husband's mother died, as some of you know, and he has been going through a lot of chaos and turmoil because of his uncles. He's an only child, so his pops wants him to come to the funeral, or the memorial service, because she's being cremated. His uncles are not wanting him to come. They're demanding that he come, and they're telling him that if he doesn't come, he won't get any of her stuff. Okay, there's only 2 things he wants out of all her stuff. Yeah. So, because he's not a material guy. He's not focused in that way. He doesn't do this. If he has a roof over his head, he's fine. If he has food, he's fine. He doesn't even particularly care what kind of food it is. So it's been really interesting. It's been really frustrating for him. But from a distance, it's been interesting to see how they know him so little that they would think that holding his mom's material goods as a carrot would get him out there. He does not want to go to their version of a memorial service because his family is every terrible Jerry Springer episode you ever never watched. I hope you never watched it enough to know. I mean, they're horrible. They're horrible. The only reason he survived is he had a couple of solid people in his life that loved him, and that's what saved him. Yeah, so they are this. They fill their bowl to the brim and waste it. They keep sharpening their knives till they go dull. They chase after money and security, and they are so vicious and clenched, and they fight like dogs over every little scrap of Garbage, really. Garbage. Care about other people's approval and you will be their prisoner. That's where they held my husband prisoner for years. He cared about what they thought, and it's hurting him now that they're telling him he's a bad son and he's a rotten person and whatever. Although he has now enough space and time to fight against it in his head. Poverty of the soul, yeah. So it's hurting him and making him mad, but not to the extent that it used to at all. But they also think that he still cares about their approval when he stopped caring about their approval years ago. Years ago. Yeah, he has me going, what? You tell him to shut the fuck up. I don't even say it. I'm like, here's what I say. Remember who you're talking to. Remember the games they play. Yeah, I'm like, you tell them to shut their dirty mouths. People hold you prisoner that way if you let them. If you care about what people think about you, it bothers him that they think badly of him that he has chosen not to go back to Colorado. Right. It doesn't bother him in the past, they don't know him at all. In the past, he would have let that drive him back there at great cost to himself. Great financial cost and great personal cost. Because they ran him ragged. They just ran him in circles all the time. And they don't do that anymore. So there's just this little, I don't know if we ever fully let go of it, especially when it has to do with our families, but he can have that reaction and then immediately start telling himself, this is their stuff. Do your work, then step back. The only path to serenity. It's incredible to me the hold that people can have on us when we want their approval more than we want our own happiness and more than we want our connection to source. Because what happens if someone starts to guilt trip us and someone starts to yank our emotional chains, we're immediately gone from God. We're immediately disconnected from our connection to love. We just lose it, right? You can't be caught up in wanting other people's approval, when they're asking you to do something that's out of your integrity and maintain your connection to source, because it knocks you off. I see him now maintaining his connection in that he can remember that this is the garbage that they do, and he doesn't have to be a part of it anymore. So he's going to offer his stepdad the deal that he'll come out. Yeah, if someone doesn't see it your way and you want to be right, yeah. So he's going to ask his pops to set out the 2 things he wants and have my mom pick it up. But I doubt that's going to happen. There's no winning and it's pure torture. Yeah. Here's the thing. You can't win. Someone is guilt tripping you and you want their approval. You think that by doing what they want, you'll get it. And you don't, right? It's always something else. You do what they want. You do what your boss wants. You do what your friend wants or your family wants. And then it's always something else. If it's out of your integrity and you're doing it just to stay in their good graces or to get their approval, it doesn't last. So you're hooked. Yeah, you're hooked into this system, this cycle of reward and punishment, which it's all a whacked out illusion. You do what they want and they want something else. You can never do good enough for people like that. Greedy, heart-clenched people. You can never. It's a false reward, yeah. It's very temporary. It's very unsatisfying. And it's ultimately very destructive. So let's see what Byron Katie tells us about this. Do your work, then step back. The only path to serenity. There's a natural balance in things. If you go too far to one extreme, Life kindly brings you back to the center. What goes up must come down. What comes down must go up. Up and down are different aspects of the same thing. So are inside and outside. Most people think that the world is outside them. They live life backward, running after security and approval, as if by making enough money or getting enough praise they can be happy for once and for all. But nothing outside of us can give us what we're really looking for. I do my work and don't even need to step back from it because it never belonged to me in the first place. Nothing belongs to me. Everything comes and goes. Serenity is an open door. I heard an interview with Tosha Silver. I had downloaded it and listened to it the other day. Yeah. And the interviewer was asking her, you say that nothing belongs to us, and I have a problem with that. If I went outside and someone stole my car, I'd be pretty pissed about it because, hey, that's my car, and I paid for it, and I worked for it, and whatever. And she said, well, it's not that nothing totally belongs to you. It's that everything is on loan. You can't take it with you. It can be taken from you in any moment. And how tightly you clench onto that object or person or place or thing there's a direct correlation then to how much you're going to suffer and the loss of it. There's an old, becoming more of an open book. The truth really does set you free. Yeah. I have no problem going on Periscope and talking shit about my in-laws. Because they know exactly how I feel. When the mask comes off, you have freedom. Yes. And you may lose friends because of it. And that's okay because you'll find new ones. And it's also okay being alone. It's not a horrible thing. The more you are authentic, the more you live in your authentic self, the more energy you have, the more life works for you, because you're not wasting time with people who don't understand what you're talking about. So you can waste a lot of time if you're hidden, because you meet people and they think they know you, but they really don't. And so then as they get to know you, they can be a little disappointed because that's not who you presented yourself to be. They thought they were getting person A when really you're just person B. So it's a lot faster and more efficient and more energy producing to just be yourself from the get-go. And that's been a hard lesson for me too. So I'm talking a lot here, but don't think I have that mastered. I mean, it's much easier now. Yeah, you do. You have known it in your head, but when you actually live it, it's outstanding. It's good. It just feels good. Living authentically is the most powerful thing you can do. And what better way to express spirit in the world than being who you were born to be? You were designed to be who you are for a reason. Spirit wanted to experience the world through you, through what you are, through how you are, through who you are. So if you hide that, everybody misses out. The people who need your particular brand of sparkle and magic miss out. And the spirit, the source of everything, misses out on experiencing the physical world through you. Through your hands, through your eyes, through your activities and choices. I like how she says, I do my work and I don't even need to step back from it because it never belonged to me in the first place. You do your work and that's it. It's so exhausting to have to worry and stress and confirm. Yeah. God, seeking other people's opinions. wanting to know what they think about what you're doing. It's a deep need for that approval. It's a very human need. Yeah, just be yourself, and that's pretty much it. And sometimes that's hard if you've lived hidden or wearing different masks for different people in different situations. It can be hard to figure out who you are. It can be hard. And there's a difference, too, in using discernment. Like, it's that casting pearls before swine saying. I wouldn't go in front of my husband's family and spend a lot of time talking about the things that we talk about. They know it, and they can ask for help if they ever. Right, me too, Nina. The older I get, the less I care. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. And the discomfort of hiding becomes more painful and more exhausting over the years too. Like, having to go somewhere and fake it is impossible. I just won't do it. I mean, I've got to really love somebody for them to say, can you come to this event and just kind of fake it for a couple of hours to support me? I can do that. But like to go to a funeral when I don't really find value in that, or to go to a party that I don't want to go to, it's almost never worth it. It's just not. Yeah, doing this work is how you find out, because you slowly strip it all away. And if you have friends who can't handle this stuff and they're not key to your inner circle or whatever, then, you use your discernment and you go have fun with them, and you know that they don't get it, and that's okay. You just go enjoy them for who they are and what they are and where they're at. Yeah, it really is work. Oh, yeah, this stuff is work. My friend Bev says this is not for the faint of heart, and I totally agree. It's a different kind of work. It's work to hide, and it's work to learn to unhide. Thank you. I will take those blessings, and I will send them back your direction. I'll take all the blessings and prayers I can get. I've never been interested in turning any of that down. I honestly cannot remember what the second part of my title was. I think it was something about allowing joy. Something that Michelle said in one of the groups, either the Desire Map group or the Perry Fam group, about finding joy. And a lot of these texts say that the joy and the thank you. Is love available here? Okay, that's like a great question to ask that can help get you through tough times. Thank you, Michelle. That really was important for me to say. So, I think it's a Sufi saying, or it may be an interpretation of a Sufi saying, S-U-F-I, the Sufis, the Sikh. Don't hold me to the details on that stuff, because I have used that question a lot over the last 3 years. I love it. Is love available even here? So I've been, as I was sick and trying really hard this time not to fight the feeling of being sick. I don't like that feeling. It's scary. When my lungs get screwed up again, it's scary. And then I have a tendency to forecast pneumonia. I have a tendency to catastrophize when I'm feeling stuff in my lungs. So I was like, well, let's work with this. We've got stuff going on in your lungs, so let's work with this fear that's pretty irrational. And so I was asking myself a lot lately, is love available even here, even in lungs that don't function the way I would like them to function? Oh, you're welcome. I might as well use what I've got, right? They tell you as a writer to write about what you know. I might as well talk about whatever's up for me. So, I ask myself a lot that, is love available even here? Can I reach? So here's how I was thinking about it at first. Can I reach for love even in this situation? And I got stuck on the word reach. And I started this a few days ago when I started realizing that I had misinterpreted my allergies and it was actually a cold. And it was too late. And I already had it. So I was thinking I needed to reach for love and reach for peace. And reach outside of that's outside of me. So a lot of this stuff talks about that our natural state is joy. Our natural state is calm or peace, whatever you want to put on it. And that you don't have to reach for things. You just let go. It's a gear shift in my mind that by thinking that I have to reach for health, I'm stepping outside of my stuff, which means that if love is available right here, I'm going to miss it. If I'm reaching out for something else, I'm going to miss the love that's available right here, right now. The connection to God, the connection to Source that's available in every moment. And Byron Katie says that a lot too, that if your story takes you outside of yourself, what you're looking for is right here. I put something in the Facebook group today. Yeah, when we let go, it just arises. It just arises. We don't have to go out and find it. We don't have to reach for it. We just have to stop doing everything that interferes with it. So it's that cork metaphor again. When our natural state is to be bobbing around, happy on top of the water, and you pull a cork underneath water, and it's hard. It's hard to pull a cork underwater. As soon as you let go, it pops right back up and is floating around on the water again. Abraham Hicks uses the example of paddling upstream. It's not that you have to figure out a way to stop paddling upstream and think about it and analyze it and find a method to put the paddle down. You just take your paddle out of the water and you naturally turn around and go with the flow of the water. It's a natural state. It's nothing to figure out. So when I say, is love available even here? Tapping is very helpful. Emotional freedom technique, EFT, it's very helpful in removing whatever is stopping you from letting your cork float or from letting your boat go downstream with the water instead of fighting so hard to paddle upstream. This kind of work is letting go. We don't know how sometimes to take our paddle out of the water. Yeah, it's helpful, and different things work for different people. EMDR works, EFT works, yoga works, study works. We have so many methods because we all are unique. We have to find our way back. We have to find our way to take the paddle out of the water. So I've been asking that about my husband's situation too, because let me tell you, my knee-jerk reaction is to say to my daughter, you're going to have to come stay here and watch my cats, and tell my husband, get your ass in the car and we're driving to Colorado right now. We're going to straighten this shit out. That's my knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, we're gonna go fix this right now, and you're going to get the things that you want, and then we're going to come home. And that's ridiculous. So I have to ask that too, is love available even here among a situation of very nasty-minded people who are frustrating and causing pain to my husband, which is his business. How he handles it is his business. It's not mine. I can't do that work for him. Yeah, jerk. Right. Yeah, because I want to go down and kick some ass. That's what I want to do. I'm like, you're her son. First of all, they don't have any place in this. They're not the air. You are. Anyway, I can't go there for very long because, I get all cranked up. So it makes me a jerk just like them, right? It makes me combative and feisty, beyond feisty. It didn't this time. It used to enrage me when I would see what they were doing to him and how they were running him in circles. It used to enrage me. Now it's like, I just want to go fix it. And then I'm like, okay, well, that's his and whatever. He can deal with it. He's a grown up. Kind of. So I have to ask, when I feel like that, when I watch him suffering, yes, it's hard to watch someone we love hurt. So when I watch him suffering, don't be a jerk. And don't be a jerk and listen to your ego. Yeah. Kind of. So, is love available even here in this ugly situation, in this moment of chaos? And it's like the basest of humanity, like the scrapping part, the grasping, greed. Is love available even in that? And it is available even in that, because as long as people are breathing, there's hope. As long as people are alive, there's a chance that they can change. My husband changed. He was never like they are, but he had some of that mindset of grasping and never for material things. But he was so out of touch with his emotions. The guy didn't like cats when I met him, so that alone should tell you how fucked up he was. Now he loves cats. So, love is available in this situation because it gives my husband further opportunity to see the truth, to make choices on his own, to make... Yes, it always is. It always is. It always is. And we don't have to go out and get it. It's our natural state. So the minute I let go of my wanting to be a jerk right back to them, I'm right back in love. The minute I let go of my lung pneumonia stories, I'm right back in, I just have a cold. I don't have lung cancer. That's where I go, right? Oh my God, it's cancer. I'm going to have to get a lung transplant. Every headache is a brain tumor. In my thoughts. I'm not a hypochondriac, and I don't use it as an excuse to get out of doing stuff. But, I tend to worst case scenario things like that. So, I have a cold. And lucky for me, I have a lot of essential oils that I know support my body. I have Tulsi tea, the holy leaf basil tea, which supports my body. I have oregano and a basil oils, which I do think is also helping shorten... Right, stop it! Stop it! And when I stop it, I'm right back to love. I just go right back to everything's okay. Everything's okay. I don't need to go find love. It's right here, laying on the couch with toddlers. The toddlers were low energy yesterday, so we had lots of really fun, where they just sat with me. They just snuggled, and they were tired too. And so they, we all leaned on each other yesterday. So that was really sweet. In the midst of being sick, there's still sweetness. In the midst of ugly people, there's still beauty. If we let ourselves relax into it. Morgan loved her mala. I bought mini money malas from Sarah for me, my mother, Catherine, and my daughter as gifts. I didn't expect my daughter to really like hers that much. Oh, thanks. And she loved it. She really loved it. She took it to work with her and everything. I was kind of surprised. So, there's wellness in sickness, and there's beauty in ugliness, and it's all two sides of the same coin. Yeah, they're beautiful. Did you get yours, Michelle? Did you get yours yet? They're so beautiful, and they're affordable. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect that, but yeah, it's kind of glamorous looking. It's gold and white and sparkly and clear, and yeah, it fits her better than I thought. And all it takes is something to trigger our awareness that we're stuck in a story. She is super glam. Yeah, they're better in person. They are so much more beautiful in person than in the pictures. Oh, my daughter's super fancy. Yeah, she's super fancy. So is Ashlyn. I used to sing "I'm So Fancy," that "I'm so fancy" song to Ashlyn. She's very fancy. And my daughter's been fancy since she was a little. She came out fancy. Born to a hippie backpacker, no makeup wearing kind of, person that can't even dress herself. I have to get my daughter's input to dress myself appropriately. Fancy and prissy. Yes, she was a fashionista. That's funny, Tanya. That's cool that you and your daughters share that. Yep, they come through us, but they are not us. I used to tease her and say that she got switched at birth. Like, my kid was on the subway in Manhattan wearing, Sporty Spice, wearing hiking boots and reading William Stafford poetry and wondering how to get into the wilderness. She should have been born to a fashionista person in Manhattan, because that's really where she... Spice Girls, that's funny. So, the trigger is picking up a book. Or the Village People. That's funny. Accessing your buffer bag. Doing anything you can to remind yourself that you're telling yourself stories and they've taken you off center. You're a half hippie. You're just a snazzy. You're just a sassy, snazzy little hippie. So the question, is love available even here, is really just a reminder that love is available, but we have to look for it. We have to ask for help. So any of those things, mantras, studying books, using oracle cards, they're just reminders to step back and go, oh, what story am I stuck in right now? And really, everything's okay. Even if it looks chaotic, everything's really okay. It's really okay right now. So even saying it's going to be okay, it's already okay. It's already just fine. It's your story that's not okay. It's your story that's preventing you from remembering that love is what you are. It's not something that you go find. God isn't something you go looking for. You already are connected to that. I wish I had written down I put it in, for those of you on Facebook, I put it in the group. Somebody posted a piece of a writing by somebody I didn't recognize. But the last line of the phrase was, oh yeah, his exploration is awesome. The last line of the writing says, you are seeking, do you realize, I'm going to mess it up, but it's basically, do you realize you're looking for God with his own eyes? And I was like, wow, that's perfect. You're seeking something, you're looking for something with the eyes of the something already in your head. You're looking for something that's already is you. You already have it. It's like water looking for water. It's absurd when you think about it. It's what makes us crazy. So, there you go. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's awesome. You're looking for God with his own eyes. If you really spin it back and really contemplate that, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty profound. What? One of your most conservative Republican friends shared Kyle Cease's videos too. If you guys don't know Kyle Cease, C-E-A-S-E, awesome guy, is documenting his 2 hours of meditation every day, and talking a lot about the same stuff we talk about. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, Tanya, that's a perfect example. Like, as long as people are on the earth and they're breathing, there's a chance they can wake up. Even Heath's rotten uncles could wake up tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that's incredible, Tanya. That's going to create a ripple effect. Yeah, that's going to create a huge ripple effect. So, there you have it. That's all I got for today. I'm not going to do an oil post today because my talking is not painful but tiring. Like I'm having to force the air out. So, I'm going to call it quits for today and go get some groceries. Yay! Is love available even at the grocery store? It is. It comes in the form of chocolate. Yay! That's what I can look forward to at the grocery store. Kyle didn't set out to do this, but he's called. He's in a position for a lot of people. Yeah. People who are in influential positions have so much power to further the cause. Yeah. And he may be more accessible to people than, say, Marianne Williamson. He might be more acceptable to the people who are just dipping their toe in the water than Oprah or Iyanla Van Zandt or Byron Katie, any of the other people we read. I could see Kyle Cease as being very accessible. He's a comedian. Comedian guy. He's easy to relate to. I think Brene Brown's work has been so successful. It's not new. The work she's doing, it's not new at all. But she is accessible to the thinkers because she's yeah. Oh gosh, I missed like 3 comments in a row right there. Brene Brown is accessible to the people who want somebody who has an academic background. Oh my God, I missed something incredible. People who want to hear it from a scientist. Yeah. So the same message comes from a lot of different people to reach a lot of different people. Does that make sense? So some of us are drawn to Byron Katie. Some of us are drawn to Marianne Williamson. Oh, the image of, yeah, yes, lots of ripples. So people who are thinkers and want the person with the degrees and the letters after their names, they get to hear Brene Brown. And those of us in the therapy world are like, Yeah, that's nothing new. People who want to relate to a comedian, down to earth. Yes, different teachers, different tools, the exact same message, right? It's the same message being delivered from different faces. Even the Pope is saying different stuff now. I still don't agree with a lot of the stuff he does, and I certainly don't agree with the way, the things that the Catholic religion functions. I don't agree with, but even the Pope is saying stuff differently. So there's comedians, there's Brene Brown's, there's Dr. Eben Alexander was a physician, right? He's the guy who got something happened. Would he get sick or something? And he was in a coma, and he got all this information, and he came back and, probably against his better judgment in the beginning, started sharing it, wrote a book about it. So then you have people who are like, well, if a doctor can do it, maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something I should check out. So it's very limiting. Proof of Heaven, was that Eben Alexander's book? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. And it's E-B-E-N. My nasal voice right now, probably, yeah. E-B-E-N, Alexander. There's Deepak Chopra. Someone like Kyle could say the same thing that Oprah says and have a whole different slice of the population hear it. Same for Oprah. Martha Beck. There's people who think Martha Beck's a total crackpot, and I think I want to be you. I love her. I love her work. She's also a scientist, or an academic. Yes. Yeah, it's taking the woo-woo-ness out of it. That is hilarious. I accidentally blocked someone one time, and I thought they blocked me, and I was like, oh my God, what did I, shit. What in the world did I do? So I went and checked my blocked people, and they were there, and it was me that had done it. When you just accidentally block people sometimes. So, same message. Listen for that. It's the same message. Oh, that's funny. Thousands of years old. This message is still the same. Still the same today. So, all right, I'm gonna go to the grocery store, and I'm gonna look for love shaped as chocolate. And I got to get my husband something to eat. He's going to work tonight, and we don't have anything. We have food here, but we don't have anything good. Since he has to work overnights, I like for him to have a lot of good food to take with him, because it's miserable working overnights, and the least you could do is eat well. So I'm going to go. That helps me go to the grocery store, too, is knowing that I'm going to fill his lunchbox with good food. So that makes it worth it, because I freaking hate the grocery store. Although I'm glad there's food there. I'm glad I can go drive and get food whenever I want it. Bye. Much love to you. Thanks for your comments and hearts and cheers and all that. I really appreciate it so much. I so appreciate. That is love, right? When you go to the grocery store when you're sick. Yay, we're grateful. We have such a wonderful little love group. So, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Whoops! Almost dropped you. Oh my gosh. I'll be back with the twins tomorrow. Right? What's today? Oh yeah. The week's all messed up because of Thanksgiving. So, back to the twins tomorrow, and with the twins Tuesday. I'm actually going to spend the night down there. So maybe I'll do a family scope at some point and get the moms and the twins on camera at the same time. That'll take some doing, but I think I could pull it off so you can meet them. All right, much love. Yeah, I told him I will. I'll bully them into it. No, I can get them to do it. Okay. All right. Bye.